that icky, salesy, sleazy energy when like someone is trying to sell to you,
Yeah.
right? Have you ever felt that?
Yeah.
Just give me a yes and nod, yeah. And like it's really not. I've had people do that. I'm just like, you might as well just stop right there because I'm just not going to buy whatever you've got, right?
Mm. Mm.
It's like, you're wasting your time.
West, exactly.
More. I think this is a more pertinent question, which is, have you ever gone into a call like feeling uncomfortable
Yeah.
because you're feeling that salesy, sleazy when you're trying to make your
Yes.
offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Laura, I want to jump in here. I remember when I first started, and I remember after a while, I was following a script, and I'm thinking, oh my God, do they know that I'm reading a script?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Like, what happens if they ask
trying
me
to
a
sell
question and
you.
it's off
Yeah.
script? What happens if they ask me
Yeah.
a question and it's off script and I don't know how to answer it? Are they going to pick it
Yeah.
up? Like, it was horrible. How did I feel? Yuck. Yuck. Like,
Mm.
I can't even explain the feeling. Like so uncomfortable. Like I was going to get busted for stealing. It was
Mm.
that bad. Like,
Yeah. I recently trained a group of people who were going in, having these conversations, and there was one woman there, and she just was like, I barely sleep the night before. She's like, I barely sleep the night before. I just feel really stressed
yeah.
about having to go in and have that conversation. And then in the conversations, I like, all I'm thinking about is I've got to do my pitch. I've got to do my pitch. I've got to do my, and like stressing about
Oh,
that. And she's not
yes.
like, just feeling really nervous, feeling
Yes.
really, like my hands are, it's just that horrible feeling
I
of,
believe her. I remember it for me, it was having to get up in the early morning because I was servicing clients overseas. So it was very early
mm,
morning. Like I remember the alarm going off. I'm like, oh my God, no. Oh my God. Very
I got to do
uncomfortable.
that. And you kind of like, you try and pep yourself up, don't you?
Yeah.
You're kind of like, right, I've got to pep myself up. And you're
Yes.
like trying to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
yourself into a place. But
Yeah.
ultimately, then, she was
Horrible.
describing like, I spend the whole conversation waiting to and
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the pitch,
Oh,
right?
horrible. Horrible.
It's awful. And when people do
Awful.
it to you, it's awful. And when you do it, when you're feeling like you're having to pitch and follow that
Yeah. Yes.
script, that is like, ugh.
Well,
And the
that's
thing
it,
is,
Laura. You
like,
just said it. Well, you just said it, Laura, because you know how it feels. You're thinking, oh my God, is this is
yeah,
how they're going to feel about you? And that's what makes it so awful.
yeah, because it's all about transference of energy, isn't it? How getting people to invest in you and your services and what you offer is all about
Mm,
transference of energy. So when you're
absolutely.
feeling like that,
Yeah.
what are you transferring? You're like,
Exactly. What energy are you giving off? Exactly.
yeah. Now, have you ever bought something that you were like, in like the other end of the scale? Have you ever bought something that you were like really excited to
Amazing.
invest in, right? What does that
Amazing.
feel like?
Amazing.
You're like running down to the other
You're
room to
actually
grab your credit
thankful.
card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're thankful to the
we're
person
excited,
that said this
right?
dress, whatever it
I
is,
can't,
looks good on
I
you.
can't
Yeah.
wait for it to arrive. I can't
Yes.
wait to start. It doesn't feel like you're being sold at all, does
No.
it? Because, ultimately, whatever it is, they're communicating in a different way. They're
Absolutely.
communicating in a way. It's like they have they're in, you just don't feel like you're being sold at all. It's
Exactly.
like this feeling, or you're just like, oh, I really want to invest. I really want to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it's about having a framework, which is
Yeah.
making an invitation, right?
Yes.
So it's not about I've got to make a sale or I've got to
Yeah.
it's like making an invitation. If
Yes.
this is right for you,
Yes.
and it's going to be right for some of you, but not all of you, and I've got a thumbs up
Yes.
already.
Yes. Well, that's the
It's
difference,
that,
look. Yeah, it's
yeah,
that Like if you don't want what I've got, what I have to offer, that's cool. We can still be
mm,
friends and we'll part ways. It's not
mm.
going into
And
the
it's
call with that needy energy. It's that leaning out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's that leaning out energy, and like having. I always think what like having a being able to ask some questions, like having a
Mm,
sequence of questions that is
mm,
about finding out about what people really want
yeah.
and where they really are. I mean, that
Yeah.
I always like for me, I'm always interested in other people and where they are and how I can help them.
Yes.
And just having like you say, just sort of that lean out energy, being interested and listening, but having that lean out energy. So I'm not like desperate to
Yes.
sell you. I'm not
Yeah.
desperate to make this sale.
You're not desperate for this sale. You're going to get another
Yeah,
sale. You're not desperate for them. So you offer your good
yeah.
advice. You service them in the way you can for that call, and it's like, see you later.
And
So
it's
it's
like you may,
like before the law of abundance that you were telling me beforehand.
well, yeah. And I was just going to say that it's like you may need, there's some situations, I've definitely been in situations where you need the sale. You need to make
Yeah.
a sale, you need to make some
Mm.
money, you need to get some income, but you
Yeah.
don't need that sale. And
Yeah.
being able to
Yeah.
lean out. And I think that um, yeah, just having
Yeah.
a whole different approach where you want to share what you've got with them, see if it's right for them, and if it is that they're gonna invest in what you've got, and if it isn't, then that's
Yeah.
okay too. And that's how you
Mm.
lean out. And as you say, the law of abundance, there's more than enough to have, more than enough to
Yes.
share, more than I think that there's so much of it. More than
Yes.
enough to have, more than enough for everyone to have, more than enough, and to have more left over. So if you have that kind of mindset, then
Yeah.
you it's like you don't focus on sales. It's like all
Is you
that's
focus on
it's
the
kind of like,
service and how you're going to service
yeah,
them, and it's that energy, and it just works. And so,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I can remember, yeah, like when we met, Krista, you were
Yeah.
sort of talking about sort of having those
Yeah.
sales conversations,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and like sort of also that sort of fear coming
Yeah.
in, and
Yes.
yeah.
Especially when in the beginning, when well, I first started, it was all about me. It was all
Mm,
about, and then it was about, then the script and that the fear
mm,
that, and then
mm,
get away from the need to sell, like you said beforehand, that there's
yeah.
more for everybody, and servicing, and like, are they going to pick you up on this? And really, they never did.
Mm,
It was about the
mm,
incredible offer that we had. If it worked for them, it did.
mm,
If it didn't, so long.
mm,
Great. And it just, if you can shift your mindset and know that it's at the end of the day, it's about providing them, giving them the opportunity to work with you because you have this incredible service, that's great.
mm.
And if it
And
doesn't
that's
work,
kind of the framework, isn't it?
yeah,
That's the sort of frame that
exactly.
you have to go in, is that you want to
Yeah.
help people, you want to serve people, and you have this amazing
Yeah.
offer that may or
Yeah.
may not be right for them at
Yeah.
this time, but
Exactly.
that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like a service for, at the end of the day, it's and that's when the fear for me started to melt away, because it was no longer about whether I was good enough to be on the call, scared of what I was going to say,
Mm,
not being able to answer them.
mm,
It was about the belief of what I had to offer and the transformation that I could offer in their lives, and
mm,
servicing them. That's what became so
mm.
powerful. That's what gave me the
Yeah.
conviction, confidence to get on the call and do as well as
And
we
that's when
have.
you've got people running for their
Yeah.
credit card down the
Exactly.
hallway because they're like,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
And it's
And that's such a
such a
good
good,
feeling, and it's
I
great,
was going to say,
It's
it's such a good feeling. And it's like that whole energy
mm,
transference is
yeah.
so high
Didn't
and cool
It's
and
not, yeah, it's
amazing.
not about feeling icky or tricking
Yeah.
them, if a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people are
Yeah. Yeah.
scared on a call because they feel that, they're gonna be, judged like they're a
Mm.
salesperson, and they're gonna be icky.
And
It's
just
gonna
to
be
give people who, just to give people who are watching it, like how do you do it?
mm,
Um, it's kind of like you want to find out where that person is,
Is
what are their challenges,
yeah,
and just, find more out about where they are and what their
yeah,
challenges are.
yeah,
And then if it's right, you can say, hey, I've got something that you might be interested in, and make your offer, right?
yeah,
And
absolutely.
and make your offer in kind of think of it
Yeah,
like an invitation. It's
an
like an
invitation.
invitation.
Yeah,
I want to invite you to hear a bit about how I can help you. That's the
yeah,
frame.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Okay. Well, no more icky, Mickey,
No,
Schlousy, blah, down your
no,
throat ever again. It's just
ever again.
about it's
Yeah.
about
Them. It's about them.
audience
An
to find
invitation
out
to,
more,
yeah,
and how you can serve people at the highest level. Boom.
absolutely. You rock, Laura.
Awesome. Catch up
Okay.
with you next time.
Bye.